So Origin is a research programme that looks at online arts and culture for mental health in 16 to 24-year-olds, particularly focusing on people who might feel underrepresented. So I got involved quite a long time ago when a message was sent out as a group that I was part of asking for people to be involved, and I think I was really keen to be involved in something like this because there wasn't really much that was doing like online arts and culture, and it was something that I was really passionate about. And I think it was the way that it was looking at mental health in a different way and looking at like different ways to support mental health, like through online means which don't require people to actually go out the house, which might be actually quite difficult, and there might be lots of barriers to that. And I think that it gives it a lot more of a easier way of doing it and feels less clinical, so you don't have to reach out, you can just kind of log on your phone and hear different experiences and different people's stories. So I think that's what really attracted me to it.
I suppose when people think about doing something that's good for their mental health, people think about all sorts of different things. What for you is so important about arts and culture in relation to your mental health?
I think it's the stories element and like hearing the good and the bad parts of people's lives and knowing that all through history people have had similar experiences or different experiences to me, and that as long as time goes on people will have struggles and inner conflicts or times of joy, and there's something comforting in hearing that and feeling not alone in some way, but also empathising with other people and their stories too.
Can you give us an example of a story that's kind of resonated with you?
I think they all resonate with me in different ways, but I love the stories where there's a twist at the end, or how when like you don't quite expect it to go that way. And I think the stories of the women particularly if they're breaking outside of the barriers of society or of what we're taught, I think that can be so powerful.
There's a lot of madness and loneliness and persecution in artists across history, and there's something about relating to that from a kind of current situation, isn't there?
Yeah, there's something of, even though things have happened a long time ago, they're still happening now, and it's almost like patterns repeat themselves.
Yeah, interesting. So can you say a little bit about what's happening tonight in the museum?
So we've got all kinds of things going on tonight. We've got people live illustrating the event. We've got our Ways of Being online arts and culture platform, like a way to experience it. We've got handling of the objects from the museum. We've got speeches, and we've got young researchers talking about how they were involved.
Fantastic. And what are you hoping to get out of the project that is starting today? It's going to be going on for the next few years. What's your kind of vision for that?
I think it's really going to change the way that we see mental health and change the way that we look at mental health from a clinical perspective to actually seeing it as how can we in communities support things in different ways, and how can we really change the way that we look at things through different forms.
And if you were speaking to a young person listening to this who has never considered a museum or art as something that might be beneficial for their mental health, what would you say?
I think give it a go. There is something really different about it, and there's something always so comforting and reassuring about art and culture. And even if you don't think this is for me, there's so many different forms of art and culture and so many different kind of ways at looking at it. I think that is sort of always different perspectives and different ways of doing it.